Hi, I'm Dawne Kirkwood, and I have been asked over and over to do a YouTube video about my hair, and you can probably see it. I have it hanging down here. It's wet right now, and so that's why I'm kind of holding it away from me. The jeans are dark, so I'm hoping that you can really see the length. I'm going to go ahead and throw it behind me a little bit, and kind of tiptoe. If you, at my tippy toes, you can see the length. Let's see, I'm going to try to get a little higher up so that you can see. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so you can see that my hair is actually, let's see, to my thigh, back to my thigh. So you can see the longest part of my hair actually stops right about here. You should be able to see that. Okay. So, there you have it. We're going to go ahead and show how I do it. I've been asked a lot of questions. If my name sounds familiar, I'm Dawne Kirkwood. I authored a book called Giving Birth to Me, The Guide to Success in Birthing Your Dreams. And on the cover of the book, my hair is wrapped, so I'll also kind of cover a little bit of that. So, my hair, as I said, is wet. So let me kind of give you guys an idea of what you're going to need to do your hair. First off, you're going to need a towel. You want to wash your hair. If you color your hair, I would suggest, if you color your hair and it's natural, not to shampoo it after you color it, because the color is not going to stay, it won't last as long. So I would suggest that you rinse it really well. Get all of the chemicals out, and then put in a conditioner, but not shampoo it after. Okay, so here are some of the things you're going to need. I actually use jam a little bit, and it just depends on how my hair is responding. If I'm going to need some, I usually have a light hair oil. Preferably you want something that the base is not petroleum. It's kind of hard to find sometimes. But a light oil. When I started my locks, I used Indian hemp. And that has a lot of little bits and pieces of herbs in it. And Supergrow does one, African Pride also does one, and you can usually see like the bits and pieces inside of it. So that's just, or you can just use a light hair oil. If you're just starting out your locks, I've been growing my locks now for 19 years. I've cut it 3 times. And I'm a twice brain tumor survivor, and I decided after having the first brain surgery that I would not do any more chemicals in my hair. So, okay, so the third ingredient that I would recommend, it's called Proclaim, and it's with olive oil. There are a group of olive oil products. This is one of them, and I love this because when I first started doing my locks, I only used Indian hemp, and at times I would use a hair gel mixed with it. But as time went on, you find different things. And one of the things that I found is a lot of times when you do your hair with the Indian hemp, the hair itself, now I'm not talking about what's on the top closer to the crown. I'm talking about the actual hair that's like hanging down more so, tends to feel heavy. And when you're styling it, that's not a really good look. So I'm going to use Proclaim, and I love it. And the other thing I would recommend that you have is a spray bottle. The spray bottle is usually for if your hair gets really dry. Like right now, the long part of my hair, the length down here, is kind of damp. But because I've waited so long to load up, the top part is dry, so I'm going to need the bottle. And you need a towel because it can tend to get like completely wet. So you have the Proclaim, which what I'm going to be using today is the Proclaim, And I'm going to use a little bit of the light hair oil and my water bottle. And I'm going to be using these clips. They're just simple clips, as you can see, the little clips. And that you use, at the hairdresser, just to make it lay down. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with just the spray bottle and just kind of spraying the top of my hair, closer to the top, because that's where I'm going to really spend time oiling. So, as you can see, I'm just kind of spraying the top. I'm really not concerned about the bottom right now, because when you see the rest of what I'm going to do to style it, you'll see you don't need it. So you can handle that part later. Okay. So the top of my hair is now wet. And again, if you're doing this right out the shower, you obviously won't need the spray bottle. But if you've waited a little while, you're going to need it. I usually put all of my hair to one side, and then I begin to oil and twist. So, I tend to prefer this side over here. And so you'll see that towel over here and a little bit of towel on this side, so that when I throw it over, you can see. You want to use a towel that's may not necessarily be in the best shape when you're doing all of this, because you're going to probably get some product on it. So, okay. What I'm doing is I'm using the foam. As you can see with the foam, it's liquid, but when I spray it out, it's foam. So, like I said, I love this product, and I just basically put it on the edge of the hair, and your hair naturally kind of separates on its own, but you can see I'm putting it on the edge of the hair, and I'm twisting it. I'm twisting it that way. That way. I get confused with that counterclockwise thing, but as you can see, I'm palm rolling it. So I just put the lock against my hand, and I pull it down. And as you can see, it tightens way up here. That's where it tightens. Okay? Now, to make sure that it kind of lays well, I have some jam, and I put a little bit of jam on the outside. Again, twist, and then lay. And you can see that lays exceptionally well. Okay. Once your hair is laid, then you want to take one of these clips and just hold it. That's it. The clip's just there just to hold it, to make sure that it lays well. Okay, again, same thing, foam. I only put the foam on the root. Like to keep the hair basically just focusing on the root. And I just I'm just slipping the hair in between that clip as well. So now you have I have two locks in that clip. Now just because my hair is feeling a little dry, okay, so because my hair is feeling a little dry, I'm going to add something. But as you can see, the jam, this is a different type of jam. The product, it's Let's Jam, and this is Shining Conditioning Gel. It's up to 3 times less. That's the product right there, and that's what I use. And as you can see, it's kind of orange, and it's sticky, but it's not, it's kind of light. It's not like The dark jam looks a lot, it feels kind of wet, and this one's more of a gel paste. Okay, so putting that back. What I'm doing with this, I have to Proclaim, and it's a coconut oil hair and scalp conditioner. And I'm just going to grab a little of this and rub it in my hands and just kind of moisturize my entire hair with it, just so that it feels, ooh, that feels good, just hydrated and conditioned. Now, for those of you that are just starting out, ladies and gentlemen, I remember when I started my locks, they were literally 1/4 of an inch long, and you could see me think, and at the time I didn't wear makeup, and I felt like I was a little boy. It just felt like a boy, and I'm just adding a little bit more just to make sure that my hair your hair should feel moist. It should just feel moist, not heavy but moist. Just feel moist. It shouldn't feel dry. Okay, there we go. Shouldn't feel dry. Okay, so I'm using 2 mirrors, so I'm facing you all, but I'm also facing a mirror that I can get really close up on, and you want to be able to get really close up and see the lock really, really well. So, let's see. Again, I'm just grabbing one section of my hair. Using the foam. You can see putting the foam in. And then you'll see it just lays nicely once you put the gel in. There you go, the jam. You'll see the difference when that's laid in there. And twist. I twist, put the hair in my hand, and come down with the palm roll. Okay? And then I hold on to the hair and stick it in the clip. You have it. So there you see what it should look like. A square, neat lock laid. There you go, with the palm roll. So, alright, so as I continue to do these, you should be doing them. You've got the gist of what it is now. And I'm just going to move a little faster so that I can get it done. It's pretty wet. So I'm just going to keep moving mine. Now, people ask me all the time, what do you do when your locks break? Well, when your hair is really short and having long hair is like, in your head it's like it's an anomaly. It's like, oh my God, can I ever have long hair? Then you want to scoop it up like, oh my gosh, a drop is breaking. But when you've been on the journey for a while and you realize when it breaks, no big deal, more is coming. So I'm of the mindset that we live in a world of abundance, and that's the philosophy that I ascribe to, that God gave us more than enough. And so I don't panic when my hair, when I have a breakage. Sometimes, depending on where it is, I might twist that lock with another lock. But typically, I just say, if it goes, it goes. More will come. So, as you can see, I'm twisting and pulling down. Twisting and pulling down. That's basically That's the action. And then I'm sticking another clip on there. Okay? So the clip needs to be very close to the base, because what you're really concerned